Welcome to my channel Safety Net.
Hey everyone! So today we're going to tackle something that's just absolutely crucial in any workplace: safety. We're going to break down what a health, safety, and environmental, or HSE, management system really is, and get into why it's so important for any company that wants to be safe and successful. But, before we dive into the big corporate systems and all that, I want to start with a really personal question. Just take a second and really think about this. Could you honestly imagine your life without your hands? It's a heavy thought, right? From just grabbing your morning coffee to doing the most complicated parts of your job, our hands are incredible. For so many of us, they're the most important tool we'll ever have. And that really frames what's at stake every single day when we talk about safety at work. Okay, so let's zoom out a bit from that very personal risk to the whole organization. Because look, when safety goes wrong, it's not just about one person getting hurt. It can literally spiral into total chaos for the entire company. And these are risks that businesses face every single day.
And we're talking about all sorts of things here. You've got fires, chemical spills, unexpected medical situations, even things like natural disasters. Every single one of these demands a fast, coordinated response. And if you don't have a plan in place, well, you've just got chaos.
So that brings us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? How on earth can any organization get a handle on all these different risks? How do you actually move from just reacting to chaos to being in control? Well, the answer is having a solid health, safety, and environmental management system. This is the framework, the actual blueprint that gives you the structure you need to build a workplace that's genuinely safe. And an HSC system is not just some dusty binder of rules sitting on a shelf. No way. It's a living, breathing framework. And it's really all about three key things: keeping people safe, protecting the environment, and of course, making sure you're following the rules, all by managing risk in a clear, systematic way. So, when you look at any really effective, modern approach to safety, it pretty much always stands on three main pillars. You've got smart digital management to keep things organized, you've got professional training to give people the right skills, and you have expert support to help guide you. So let's break down what each of those really means. All right, let's dive into that first pillar, the digital toolkit. The idea here is so simple, but it changes everything. You centralize your data. Think about it. No more digging for lost paperwork, no more one department not knowing what another is doing. Everyone is on the same page in real time, and that is absolutely critical in an emergency. And these systems aren't one size fits all. So if you're a small operation, a single user system might be perfect for you. But for those bigger organizations, with teams all over the place, a secure web-based platform becomes a total necessity for managing that live data across all your projects. And you can see how this works in the real world from feedback like this one from Mark Johnson. He points out that when a tool is easy to use, it makes an immediate difference. It helps them stay organized right there on site where it matters most. And what's really great is how accessible this stuff can be now. This isn't just about giant, expensive software for huge corporations. There are some really powerful free apps out there that can help anyone get started. And that's a huge deal, because it lowers the barrier for any business, no matter how small, to step up its safety game. And here's another piece of great feedback from Michael Turner, a pro in the field. He really hits on something important here. For the folks whose job it is to manage safety, having a tool that actually works well and is easy to use, well, that's not a luxury, it's invaluable. But listen, even the most amazing digital tools are only half the battle. You've got to give your people the skills and the knowledge to actually build that culture of safety. And that, of course, brings us to our second pillar, training. And this is where that professional development is just so critical. For instance, dedicated platforms like Mastery Hub Academy offer these structured online courses where people can learn real practical HSE skills, and they get certificates to prove they know their stuff. And look, the experience behind this is huge. This number, 863, it's not just a number on a screen. That represents hundreds and hundreds of real professionals who've gone through the training and shared what they thought about it. And this chart, wow, it really breaks it down for you. I mean, an overall rating of 4.6 stars is fantastic, but look at that. A full 80% of users gave it a perfect 5-star review. That really tells you something about how effective the training is. This comment from Maria Santos really gets to the core of what makes training actually work, right? It's not about just memorizing boring rules from a book. It's about getting clear explanations and real examples that you can actually use on the job. That's how knowledge gets put into practice. So we've talked about digital tools, and we've talked about professional training. But when you put all these pieces together, you're aiming for something so much bigger. You're trying to move past just having plans and procedures to building a true, living culture of safety.
You know, at the end of the day, the goal of any great HSE system is to build a partnership. It's about everyone, from the person on the front line all the way up to the CEO, working together to proactively create a workplace that isn't just following the rules, but is genuinely safe for every single person there. So that's the magic formula, right? You combine that efficient digital management, you empower your team with professional training, and you have that expert support to back you up. That's how you create a place where safety is just part of how things are done.
And that really leaves us with one last thing to think about. It's one thing to have a safety plan, printed out and tucked away in a folder somewhere. But I want you to take a hard look at your own workplace and ask this: do you just have a plan, or do you truly have a safety culture?